Jen.
Okay.
There you go.
Hey, those of you that happen to be watching us, whether it's live here on YouTube or if you're watching, streaming it after the fact on YouTube, this is the recording. We're recording episode 95 tonight, and we call it Stormfront Freaks Raw because you're getting everything. This is the unedited version. You get all our breaks, everything we're chatting about before and after. I just gave everybody all the Star Wars spoilers because I just got back from the show. So fortunately, you missed it. Which, if you don't want spoilers, that's good, right? Because we covered everything.
Yes, we did. Dang it!
And Luke dies. Just to let you know in advance.
Hey, Phil, was this the episode where we were or weren't wearing pants? I can't remember if we were.
I told you not to. This was the not to show.
No pants. Okay,
yes,
excellent.
This is the no pants show.
Did you get the memo, Parker?
No, I didn't, man. Sorry. I've
chilly.
only got, I'm wearing jeans. Sorry.
Well, you can change that. That's pretty easy to do, actually.
Easy to take care of.
It's not that hard.
So that's where the freaks part comes in.
Yep. Now you know. Now you know. So we'll do this. Who knows if these folks, if they're going to jump on or what's going to happen. I better text them just.
How confident are you?
Well, I don't know. I'm a little shaky. Just because our time is different.
Yeah, but that should have been good for Maz because he never pulls in until 2 minutes to anyway.
Hey, I'm just going to ask him.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to meeting Maz. All some one-liners.
Screw the rest of you, but Maz, I wanted to definitely.
You guys are all right.
Hey, well, I'm going to go now.
Okay. What are you sipping on there, Greg?
Matthew from the Pawnee Storm Chasers is here.
Oh, on the YouTube stream?
Oh, yeah, baby. Check out
yes.
comments. Matthew.
Your good old buddy, Matt.
What's up, buddy? Let me text Jen. Watson, are you joining us?
And howdy, Parker. Parker's here, too, of course. He's always here.
Oh, Parker. When's Parker?
We got two Parkers, man.
We got two Parkers in the house, he says.
Yeah. He's my distant brother.
There you go.
All right, so here's what we'll plan to do. Everybody's video looks pretty good. Everybody got earbuds in? Mm-hmm. Good. Parker's good. So we'll do the normal introduction to the show. We'll talk, do a quick little intro for Parker, but just to let him know he's on the show. I'm going to mention a little bit what's coming up in 2020. Then we'll do our happy hour, find out what everybody's drinking. And then we'll jump to, there's Maz. We'll jump to, glad you can make it, sir.
Me too.
And then we'll jump to the actual introduction that Maz will do. And Maz, do you have Parker's bio?
I do.
And Parker, it's Koppes, right? Koppes?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yep. Parker Koppes. So Maz, so here's what we'll do. I think I sent you an email on it, but I'll have you and just let you know, Parker. So Maz is going to do the introduction, but then I'm actually going to start with the first question because I was kind of thinking through, what we talked about, which is introducing the tweet that I saw you post. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking through that. I thought, us asking you about like Pawnee Storm Chasers and asking you about maybe going to, become a meteorologist and all that kind of stuff is probably going to kind of go back to that anyway. Right. I mean, it's talking about kind of how you got into it and how you started and got excited about weather. So I think it's going to be better if I just start with that right off the bat, play that tweet, and then just kind of ask you at that point, where were you at that point? What led to that? And now where are you going? And then we can kind of move forward because then everything will make sense as you're talking about where you're going.
Sounds good.
You with me? Is that okay?
Yep, I dig it.
All right, so guys, I'll ask that first question of Parker. I'm going to play a quick audio of his tweet, and then I'll ask Parker the question, and then everybody can go from there. Fair?
I've seen it. It's very powerful.
Is that good? Yes, very good.
Hey Phil, this time back your mic off just a little bit.
Boom, boom. Okay.
I think as
it
we
off
get
a little
going,
bit.
it might get a little.
Yeah, it's I'm like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yep, it's better.
That,
That's
but okay.
what we think.
So I'll do that, and then about 20 minutes into it or so, we'll take a break. I'll probably type on the private chat something like, "Hey, last question," or when he's done with his answer, I'm going to take a break. We'll do the break. I've got a quick Accurite plug prior to that, and then we'll come back and finish from there. Any questions, anybody? Greg, you good?
I'm good.
Parker, you know how to see the private chat and the comments and things on the side there?
Yes, sir. On the top right, there's two
Yep.
options.
Perfect. Okay,
Got
good.
it.
I like the sir thing.
Let me check. You like the what?
Sir from 82nd.
That's it.
It's military.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
And
yes.
I was like, yeah.
Got it. All right, I'm going to quick check sound effects. Check that. How's the sound on that? Sound level okay?
Loud, good.
Okay. I want it a little bit loud. It's kind of quiet last time, so. All right, so I got to play with sound on a few things, so I might jumble around a little bit. But everybody ready to go?
Yeah.
If Jen joins, she joins.
Oh, except I left my
And
drink.
Greg, oh, it's okay. Go get it.
You think I got time?
Yeah, I'll give you time.
Okay, it's a
We're
big
not on a schedule.
house. Just kidding.
I was gonna tell Greg he's he's off his honeymoon now, so this is like your third show, right? Look at that face.
Look at that.
That's the face of a winner right there. Thank God we're an audio podcast. That's all I have to say.
I've even got
And-
my toque on tonight.
You got your what on? Your toque. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Still getting over a cough. Parker, are you drinking tonight?
I am.
Okay, so
Awesome.
I'll ask you what you're drinking too.
Okay. Got the good stuff.
Okay. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Greg normally brings the good stuff. Looks like he's sucking on beer tonight, though, right?
No, this is
Oh, really? It's a beer mug with some good stuff.
whiskey and ginger ale.
Okay.
Nah, okay.
That'll work.
That's worth it. MJ, I've got my gingerbread Captain Morgan and cinnamon Coke.
Oh, how's that?
It's very good.
Wow.
Very good. I gotta go get more because it's limited.
Yes, absolutely. I saw that and I thought I
But a
maybe
great
should get
holiday
some of
drink.
that. So yeah,
Very
I've
tasty.
got just plain Captain and Coke tonight again.
Okay.
I shift
Well,
between my Captain and my amber
beer.
bock.
What's Matt? Matt must be cooking something up pretty good.
He had to mix a drink.
He's
and mix it
distilling
up.
his own
Yeah,
moonshine, I think.
Making a white Russian real quick.
Parker Owens drinking some Dos Equis.
Oh, Dos Equis, that's good.
Cheers.
That's good.
Cheers. Yeah, here comes Maz. He's got something in hand. Ooh,
He
it's
does.
a highball.
Yep.
He just dumped the bottle right in that glass.
What's that?
I said, you just dumped the bottle right in that glass. You're
That's 2 fingers.
just going straight. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go. We'll get started. Coming in 3, 2. Hey, welcome everybody to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks podcast. It's brought to you by the Drive Weather app. Find the safest time to leave as you travel this holiday season by viewing the weather along your trip with the Drive Weather app. It's available on iOS and Android, and you can learn more at driveweatherapp.com. So welcome to the show. So we've got lots of other shows in our hopper. If you go to stormfrontfreaks.com, you'll see the whole library of all of our past shows with some great weather guests like the Weather Channel's meteorologist Jen Carfagno and Hurricane Track's Mark Sudduth, to name a couple of them. But this tonight is episode 95. We're almost into triple digits. And we're with Pawnee Storm Chasers. Parker Koppes is with us tonight. So we're really looking forward to talking to Parker. We're also going to make sure we go through our lightning round game show with him. And if you hang on, we've got our famous hashtag Weather Fools. And coming out of the garage is good old Weather Trollbot 5000 for your holiday
Your
Christmas
favorite, man.
pleasure.
This is why I drink.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll tell you this. So we're finishing up the year. This is the last show of the year. I want you to stay tuned for 2020, guys. We got some great announcements. Number one, about our 100th episode party that we're going to be having in Oklahoma City on March 6th. So we'll give you some more details about that and how you can join all of us freaks. We're flying and driving into Oklahoma City that weekend to record our 100th episode. And of course, we're going to do it at a brewery. No better place to do it. And we've already got some great guests coming up in 2020, like Hurricane Man Josh Morgerman. We've also got ABC's Ginger Z and the Weather Channel's Jim Cantori that are going to be with us. So we got a great lineup already getting started. So what we want to do before we get into the show quick is introduce who's here tonight, find out all of our co-hosts that are with us. And we do that because it's always happy hour. It doesn't matter what time we're recording. And as Mass talked about, we encourage you guys, if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast app like Apple Podcasts, feel free to slow this down to half speed.
That's right.
As we talk about what we're drinking, because it sounds amazing. Yeah. It really does. So let's find out what people are drinking. MJ is here tonight from Minnesota. MJ, what do you got?
Good evening. I'm back to a Captain and Coke, this time in a fun silicone cup. So it doesn't make noise when I set it down.
That's kind of a neat thing. Never seen that before.
Feels good in your hands, doesn't it?
Interesting. Maz in Cincinnati, buddy. What are you drinking tonight?
Got a little Colonel Taylor small batch. Oh, on the
Colonel
rocks.
Taylor.
Colonel Taylor. That's a bourbon, baby.
Wow.
That is
from where?
From Buffalo Trace, Kentucky. We did a little visiting down there and came back with something special. So
a little Colonel.
Perhaps I over poured tonight.
Right.
We'll see.
We'll see how you do a little bit later.
Yeah.
And then we're joined now and our one of our brand new co-hosts with us, Tornado Hunters Greg Johnson, part of our team now. We're excited to have him on board. But Greg, up in Canada, baby, what are you drinking?
Man. Well, I'm drinking Canadian whiskey. I gotta keep the brand going. But this time I'm mixing it with some ginger ale. It's that time of year, so it's delicious.
It's that time of year if you're mixing. Is that what you're saying, or what?
Ginger ale.
Okay.
I don't know. I think of ginger ale as a holiday kind of
Really?
beverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You Canadians have the most amazing holidays.
Cheers. Well, and then we always tell our guests. I at least tell our guests. I tell them about what we do, and it's always happy hour. And I tell them, hey, join us if you'd like. Some do, some don't. But I've got a strange, funny feeling that our guest tonight, Parker, might be joining us at the bar. What are you drinking, Parker?
I have a single malt Scotch whiskey. I'm drinking out of the glass here. It's the Balvenie Double Wood, and it's a 12-aged Scotch. So they age it in sherry oak and American oak.
Hey, you can pour it out of that bottle as many times as you want and tell yourself you're drinking it out of the glass. And
I saw a straw, didn't I?
No.
Well, let's do this. Matt, actually, okay, I'll throw out what I'm drinking. Yeah. So I found this. It's Captain Morgan, but it's gingerbread Captain Morgan spiced rum for the holidays, which is great. And then you guys might have seen, they got some of the holiday sodas out now, like the cranberry Sprites, and
hard to find.
And I found cinnamon Coca-Cola. Wow. So mix a little cinnamon Coca-Cola and gingerbread Captain Morgan, and you got yourself quite a holiday Captain and Coke. Yeah, it's really good. So I got to go get more because I don't know how limited that is. But but Maz, why don't you go ahead and introduce Parker?
Awesome. Thank you very much. Parker Koppes is the founder of Pawnee Storm Chasers in Colorado and is a United States Army veteran who was a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division. Thank you for your service, sir. He is pursuing a bachelor's degree in meteorology and is an avid photographer, videographer of severe weather.
Well, Parker, welcome to the show, man. I want to let everybody know what, one of the things that caught my attention from Parker, seeing on Twitter and social media, being a part of the Pawnee Storm Chasers, he made a post here. This is probably a month or two back. And Parker, I'm going to play this for our audience because I think not only was this a very strong, powerful, and brave post that I really think is going to make a difference for a lot of other people, my friend. But I want to start with this because I think the rest of the story that we're going to be talking about with you about what you're doing with storm chasing and weather and all the cool, fun stuff you're doing is kind of tied to this. And so I wanted to start with this. So I'm going to play for everybody Parker's post.
Hey guys, it's Parker. So I'm going to tell you a little story. This is a very deeply personal story for me, and it's taken me a while to kind of gather up the courage to explain it. But this is for anybody out there, even if you're not into storm chasing or storm photography. But this is kind of a story that I want to tell you, so that if you're in a dark place in your life right now, you can find a purpose, find a passion, find something that you're just crazy about, and then just follow it, just full send, go right after it. So I got out of the Army in 2016, and I had no purpose in life. I didn't know what to do with myself because I was so used to being told what I needed to do. So I took my iPhone out to the Pawnee National Grasslands, which is my favorite place in the world, out in northeastern Colorado there. That's actually what our team's named after. And I was feeling really sad, really depressed, just down in the dumps. I'd stopped going to the gym and all that stuff. So I took my phone out there and I was going to take some pictures, see what I could find. And turns out a storm was coming down from Wyoming. And this was a couple years back, so it's been a while. I've learned a lot since then, but I got to see my first thunderstorm up close in person out in the middle of the plains. And I was really depressed, and I was starting to kind of have suicidal thoughts pop up at the time. And storm chasing is literally what saved my life. So yeah, it's pretty hefty, but I guess I just kind of want to explain to you guys that even if you're feeling sad, even if you're feeling really depressed, or if you're feeling suicidal, talk to someone. That would be the first thing I'd recommend. And if that's not helping as much, go to therapy. And if that's still not helping, I would recommend finding a passion. So storm photography is my passion, and meteorology is now going to be my major. So there you go. That's how I got into storm chasing, because I was a sad guy and I needed something to do. So there you go. Yeah. So if you're sad, if you ever see this video and you're sad, just message me on this Twitter. I always have my phone and I always answer messages. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good one, and yeah, enjoy the nice, relaxing Colorado weather today. I think it got up to like 68 degrees today, so that was pretty nice.
Cool. So Parker, I said, I thought that was really powerful, and mental health has really become, which I'm happy about, a much more open topic for lots of people. We've had Ginger Z on, for example, and obviously her book really highlighted the mental health challenges that she's been fighting and going through in her life. So it's all over weather, and weather and meteorology can be very stressful as well, which sometimes can lead to that. But I want to know this. So you found a passion. Tell me, I guess, where you were when you were leading up to that point that you went and saw that storm, and really tell me about that day. What were those feelings like, and how did that make a switch for you?
Do you mean like physically and mentally, both of those?
Yeah, both. I mean, where were you up to that day? What was the challenges you were facing? And then tell me about that day, because that day seemed like a really powerful day for you.
Yeah. So just to kind of like sum it up, I was medically discharged from the Army because I witnessed a friend of mine attempting to commit suicide. And I stopped that from occurring, went through a bunch of therapy during my medical discharge process. And then when I got out, I came home and I was living with my parents for a bit. And I got an iPhone 8 Plus, and I saw that it had a pretty good camera on it. So I decided to go out to the Pawnee National Grasslands, where I used to go shooting all the time. And I was out there just kind of checking out things, seeing what I could find pictures of. And then I didn't even know it, but this gigantic, linear storm came down from Wyoming up in the Cheyenne area. And it was just kind of like time-lapsing a roll cloud that was out in front of it. And then I looked to my left and I saw the huge spread of that QLCS just kind of coming at me. And I was just awestruck. So I had to drive through it to get back home, because there was only one highway that went back, and it was Highway 14. And it was just intense. Visibility dropped to maybe less than 100 feet. Couldn't see anything. And it was super insane. And that moment was when I realized that I loved meteorology. So over the course of time, with talking with family and friends, they were like, hey, I know you want to be a pilot and stuff, but you seem to be more obsessed with meteorology than anything else. So then I started pursuing my career in meteorology, hopefully.
Well, and pilot and excuse me, meteorology go hand in hand. I mean, you got to get the weather side of it down to become a pilot. So that's just going to help all around. So that's awesome.
Yeah, Parker, one of the things, as a photographer, I didn't come to what I'm doing either as a meteorologist. That all came afterwards. And like Maz said, if you want to get the best photos, if you want to get to the right spot, you have to understand the weather. And so the two really do go hand in hand. And it's a pretty powerful story you have there. I mean, there used to be a time where dudes would say to other dudes, suck it up, right? Suck it up. And, that was the mindset that people had. And I'm sure that was no different in the US military that, and it's really powerful that people now feel that they're able to tell their stories like you did publicly, because how many people are suffering in silence, right? And it's an amazing story.
Yeah,
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Parker.
Yeah, I really I was just putting it out there because I know that there was people out there. There's tons of other people out there that have a hard time dealing with depression and things like that. And I think I believe that the key to solving depression is finding something that you love to do. And maintaining a good diet, obviously. You can't just rely on medicine. You need to find something that truly matters to you. And I didn't realize it up until that point. Even when I was a kid, we had a mile-wide wedge EF3 hit my town. I still didn't completely love weather. I wasn't completely just blown away by it until I got older and was completely by myself out there. And that was one of the most pivotal moments in my life. It's incredible. Can't even describe it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Was there nothing from a weather fascination standpoint prior to that day? Was it just kind of something that happened and didn't really interest you until that day, or was there bits and pieces?
Yeah, so I always thought that weather was cool. We used to go out on the front porch during thunderstorms, and my mom and I would sit there and just listen to the storm, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. But until you're out in the middle of the plains, and Greg, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Until you're out in the middle of the plains and it's just you and maybe a couple friends, and you've got this gigantic monster of a storm in front of you, until you feel that mortality, you don't truly understand the power of storms. Really get it.
That's what I was going to ask too, because when you were saying it was indescribable, but you'll never forget that feeling at the same time. When you realized you had to drive through it, was there like a progression of, I don't want to say like a high, but almost, where there's this unveiling of emotion. And if you can just kind of take us back there for just a quick second, if whatever you can talk about.
Yeah. So I guess basically, I'm sitting there, I'm watching it come towards me. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. This is amazing. It's just beautiful. I couldn't even describe it. Greg, you know how Colorado is sometimes. Sometimes it just makes the most beautiful storms you'll ever see. But then I was like, okay, well, this storm's going southeast and this highway only goes east and west. I think I can avoid the hail core if I just blast west. And luckily the hail on that one was only pieces. Very wind driven, as a linear storm would be. But when I was getting in there and I saw the visibility dropping down and my car started kind of shake around, because I drive a Chevy Cobalt, so I'm not driving a 50 pickup. Thankfully, I can drive in dirt, though. But yeah, it's kind of like going through there. I was like, holy crap, this is getting crazy. This is intense. And the hail is so loud on my car, I can't even hear myself think, just because the hail is hitting the aluminum shell of my car. And I was like, I can't do anything except for keep moving. And then once I got out of it and I came around the outside of it, the backside by Alt, Colorado, which is just west of the Pawnee National Grasslands, I turned back and I pulled over and I was just watching the storm move away, and I saw the towers of the updrafts embedded through that system, just kind of moving away. And I was just like, wow. I can't even describe it really.
So tell me, Parker, when did you decide to start this Pawnee Storm Chasing team? What led to that, and how'd you find these other kooks that were willing to do this crazy storm chasing with you?
Yeah, so I think we founded the team officially in February. And I had been on another small storm chasing team based out of Colorado Springs for a part of the 2018 season. And there was just some drama and stuff that I really didn't want to deal with. And so my buddy Brandon, who is he's the goatee guy in our team. I've been friends with that guy for 10 years now. So we're pretty close. He was like, why don't we just start our own storm chasing team? We're doing everything on our own already. And so that's exactly what we did. And then I met Matthew O'Burke, who's actually watching the stream right now. He's a UNC, University of Northern Colorado meteorology student. And I met him this last year. And we just instantly bonded because we both were just crazy about weather. And so that's basically the makeup of our team. But yeah. So
what was the reason for creating it? So how do you guys structure your chases then, or what's the purpose of the team itself?
So the purpose of the team in general is just, we kind of wanted to I really like the photography side of things, and I wanted to show people how cool storms were. So, I started with the iPhone, then I got a Nikon, and now I'm going to get a better Nikon, and so on and so forth. And I just wanted
It's a sickness. It's a sickness, Parker.
It's like a vicious cycle.
It's an addiction, actually, Phil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we started the page, or I started the page itself so that I could show people how it looked. And then I discovered the whole Storm Chaser community. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And here we are now.
Hey, can I just jump in for a second? Because Parker, I just want to share a little bit of my experience, because I had not the same experience as you, but I came into it not from a meteorology side, but from the photography side. And you're talking about mental health, and this is a really, really difficult time to be doing this thing, because everybody and his dog has a phone, and there's an outbreak earlier this week, and there's hundreds of videos and thousands of photos that hit the airwaves, and all of a sudden, you start to second guess yourself. Am I any good at this thing? Why do I keep making mistakes? Is my photo as good as this next guy's photo? And there's some mental health challenges around keeping up with the Joneses, if you will. And how have you experienced any of that? Have you felt any of that? Like, Jesus, should I even be doing this?
Yep, I have. Let's see here. What was the time that I can recall from this last year here? I would say there was a storm in Hugo, Colorado that was tornado warned, and it had like an updraft streamer that was going into it. And to me, it looked like a land spout. And so I posted on Twitter that possible land spout, because I didn't want to say for sure, because you know how that goes. And then a couple people roasted, and then one meteorologist stepped in and he said, "Oh, it looks like that's a mechanically created land spout because the forward flank of the downdraft of the storm, the updraft kind of like looped over it or something." And so it was a mechanically created land spout, but I kind of had that moment where I was like, should I really be saying this? Because I'm waiting for Reed or somebody to put something out like confirmed tornado before I do it. But the whole point of it now, it's evolved from just wanting to see it and tell people about it to wanting to capture the beauty of the storm rather than anything else. And it's just kind of like you guys are like my family, because storm chasers are the people who I have bonded with outside of the Army. And I think the fact that we like to go follow storms and pursue tornadoes, which can kill you, it makes us a little extreme. And I think that's what really attracted me to the storms. It's just like, this is intense, and then meeting other storm chasers. That's the best part of storm chasing. And I know Daniel Shaw mentioned that when he was on your show. It's all about the people you meet. The tornadoes are cool, but the people are the best part.
Yeah. And we already know you're courageous telling your story. And then in the summertime, storm chasing for days on end without bathing when it's over 100 degrees with other guys.
Well, that's a good segue for all of our storm freaks and weather geeks out there. AccuRite has a line of new merch with stickers and T-shirts that go on to help the National Weather Association Foundation with 20% of all the proceeds going to support them. So they've got some really cool looking, visually looking stuff. So first off, they've got a couple t-shirts. One says Weather Nerd on it, so you can just go ahead and flaunt your nerddom. The other one has a image of a tornado, but it's called the Severe Weather Tornado t-shirt, and it's got different words within the tornado. It's kind of cool. But they also got a neat line of stickers, very colorful stickers. One says I Heart Weather. There's one that says Eyes on the Sky. It's got a cool lightning bolt on it. There's a storm spotter. It says AccuRite Storm Spotter. It's got an image of a tornado on it, which is really cool. And then a junior weather watcher. So if you've got any kids, things like that you want to call a junior weather watcher, this would be cool. And of course, so Storm Chasers, you got to love the magnets, right? And the signs you can put on the side of your car. They actually have a storm spotter magnet that you can put on your vehicle as well. So you can find all of these at AccuRite.com. Remember, all the proceeds go to the National Weather Association Foundation. I'm sorry, 20% of those proceeds go to that. But get this, anything you get at AccuRite.com, if you use the promo code podcast, PODCAST, use that at checkout, you're going to get 10% off everything you're ordering. So go ahead and go to AccuRite.com. Hey, we're going to take a break. We got to refill our drinks. I don't know about you, but when we come back, we're going to be right back with Parker's lightning round. So be ready for that.
You know, you said weather mercs, and I was like, did he just say weather mercenaries?
Mercs?
And I am like,
Merch?
because that would be a cool storm name, wouldn't it? I mean, like Storm Mercenary.
Oh, yeah.
Weather, Storm Chaser.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not.
Sounds a little social media chaser.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta
you
get
should
those
definitely go and register that URL right now, Maz.
Okay, I'll be back. I'll be back. Well, I'll have to be back because I'm empty again. Wow, look at that.
Wow, you went. Okay, tip it back, baby.
Yeah.
Go refill. Go refill.
Go refill. Yeah.
You're not going to refill? No.
I'll be singing the Swallows at Capistrano, you know.
All right. Any questions, anybody? Who do we got? Let's do shout outs here. We got a show. Tim Veltman's on. What's up, Tim? Matthew's still on. Parker's on. We talked Parker already. He's on.
They're talking thunder snow.
It's like a trio. We got a trio.
Where?
Of them on.
Oh yeah.
No, they're just people are waiting for the next storm, and they said, well, it might have to be thunder snow before we get a thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had some insane thunder snow in Colorado in October. I don't even know how many strikes there were. It was Jim Cantore would be jealous. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest with you. Other than it being a little rare, thunder snow just doesn't do it for me. I mean, there's nothing to photograph. It's just flashes in the sky, strobe lights.
When you hear it, you go, "Holy smokes!"
I mean, it's cool because it's snowing out,
cool.
and then you hear it. But I don't know.
That's
looks like Daniel Chell's in the stream. Severe Weather News Australia.
That's
nice.
Oh,
Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
Hey, if Daniel Shaw's on, buddy, Daniel, you got to listen because you've got a Weather Trollbot segment coming up, brother.
Aha.
You have Weather Trollbot coming up, so.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed he's actually not out photographing the fires right now.
Well, that's what he says. It says Australia's burning right now. Which I'll be honest with you, that's his Weather Trollbot contribution.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his photographing some of the bushfires. He's gotten some people that are giving him shit. And he's being really professional in his response.
Yeah.
But we're gonna find out what he's really thinking.
What he was really thinking.
Weather Trollbot's gonna let us know what Daniel was really thinking. So
hey, Rick's in the house. Hey, Rick.
I liked Daniel's pine water story on the podcast.
Oh,
when he said, "I'd like some plain water."
Yes.
With his accent. They couldn't understand what he meant.
Hey, when you had Daniel on the show, was that episode 4 or 5 hours? How long did that one last?
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
That man can talk.
He can talk, but I'll tell you, he is a audio and video
savant.
Yeah, he is just so picky. He was like changing his color and,
Yes,
and
he
all that
was.
stuff on his video, and he was adjusting everything. And
he likes his white balance.
Boy, he is a total video snob when it comes to that. But that's why his stuff looks so damn good. Unfortunately, it's because he is that. Right?
If you look up multitasking in a dictionary, you're gonna see his face because he's doing it all on the road. It's really quite impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I ran into him down in Hugo.
Did
he actually took a picture of us and put it on his stream. It was really cool.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
He's really hyper. He's like ready to go, and I love it. He's just like, let's go. All
right. He said it was 7.5 hours, Greg. The show was 7.5 hours.
Yes.
So okay. So we come back. I'll start with a question for Parker. If you guys got some more questions you want to throw in there, you can.
I got one, Phil.
Okay. So I'll start with one. We'll go there, and Greg jump in whenever.
Sure.
And then we'll do lightning round, and then take another break before we get to the Weather Fools and Weather Trollbot. All righty.
Yep.
All right. So coming back, let me get my question. What do I want to ask? Okay. Coming back. 3, 2. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are here with Storm Chaser Parker Koppes. We had a loud audience, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they're up close.
Wow.
They're up close tonight. But anyway, so we're with Parker here from the Pawnee Storm Chasers, and Parker. So I want to know. So you're a little new to the storm chasing hobby, I guess. What are you working on? What are you right now? Where are you at in your storm chasing expertise that I put in air quotes, and tell us what you're working on. What are you looking to be better at?
Right now, my biggest focus is going to be photography composition for this next year. I'll be getting a better camera. I'm going to get the Nikon D7500 or the Nikon D750, just because they can take time lapse, and the current camera I have cannot do that. And I found myself in a position where time lapse would have been great. And I just want to get better at photography in general, because a lot of my earlier pictures from the season were very heavily edited. And that's the last thing I want. So I just want it to look natural.
What do those cameras cost? Because I have no idea.
Oh, this D7500 with the 1680 millimeter lens that I want right now is going for $1,400, and then the D750 with a 1680 is like $1,700.
Wow.
So they're not cheap, but man, those full frame cameras.
So I want to jump on that a little bit only, and you can, Greg, jump in on this as well, because when I'm chasing, this is always I'm juggling, my DSLR, I'm juggling my iPhone, my dash cam, and I'm trying to figure out which one do I want to try and get time lapses with, which one do I want to shoot with, which one. So Parker, how do you manage all that? And Greg, you can jump in when he's done too.
You mean like what kind of gear do I bring with me when I'm chasing?
Like what else are you photographing and videotaping with?
Normally I just have my iPhone if I'm doing like a short video clip or something to throw on Twitter. But the only gear I really bring with me, I'm going to be bringing a first aid kit this next year because we didn't have one this year. So we'll have that, the camera, and we all have our phones, and I just download offline Google Maps.
So what do you use in your phone? So from taking images, what are you using your phone for, and what are you using your camera for? Your
camera is still shots, sometimes video. If there's a good tornado, if I have a longer lens in there, so I can kind of zoom in, get the sub vortices. And then for my iPhone, it's just kind of like general video. If there's something that I want to capture while the camera is busy with something.
Okay, great. And so then, Greg, what are you using, and which one are you using it for?
Well, I'll tell you, I learned a long time ago that jack of all trades, master of none, as they say. And I made a decision a long time ago that I'm either going to shoot stills or I'm going to shoot video. And I've got plenty of great storms that I've been to that I don't have any video of. And I've got plenty of great storms where I don't have any photos of them. I just have video, because you really can't do them all justice. You just got to pick one and go for it.
That's fascinating. When I'm out, I'm using my phone pretty much for calls, maybe texting.
Multitasking.
Check your email, do you?
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah, for me personally, I take so much pleasure from getting that photo, as Parker, as you described it, right? Like actually being able to go back in time and look at that day from 2018 or 17 or whatever, and there's something I think kind of romantic about photography. Video, love it. You get all the YouTube views, but I love the photography.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I take the pictures as well. So I'm doing it so I can show other people what it looks like, and also for me. So, like, for example, I can frame it and then keep it, so that way I can just always remember, like, oh, I remember that. It kind of sucks if you can't take pictures and video of it.
Yeah, you bet. So, hey, I got a question for you. You might have saw on Twitter, I made a post that I would love for you to comment on here. If you could go back in time in the last 10 years, in the last decade, and revisit any historical tornado event from the last 10 years, what would it be?
Ray, Colorado, 2016.
No hesitation.
No hesitation at all. Nope. Not one bit. Yep.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, beautiful tornado. It was one of those dusty stovepipe. It went from like a super skinny, kind of a rope-ish thing, and then it went to a stovepipe that just got really wrapped in dust. And so there was so much dust that you could see the wind field in the tornado wrapping it all up and around. It was just beautiful. Beautiful tornado.
Yeah, and did you see Reed's video of that?
Yeah, I did. I've watched it a few times. Yeah, it's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Oh, speaking of thunder snow. So it's about that time. It is time for our lightning round. So this is our game show of fun, flashy questions for our guests. We always invite everybody to play along, so you guys can all join in as well. Tonight, so Parker's got obviously a military background, and I thought it might be fun to play a little game called Truth and Lies of Captain America. So the truth and lies of Captain America. So I don't know how well you guys might know your Captain America, and not only just in the movies, but in the comic books as well. We're gonna see what Parker might know about Captain America. So here's what I'm gonna do, Parker. I'm just gonna tell you a fact, and whether it's fact, it's a truth, or it's a lie. You just have to tell me: is this a truth about Captain America, or is it a lie?
Keep your hands off the keyboard.
And freaks, you can help him out if he seems to be struggling a little bit.
Well, that's debatable.
You help me out, Matt. I know you're there, buddy.
You can help him out there as well. So Parker, here's the first one. Captain America, he was born on the 4th of July. Is that a truth or a lie?
Lie.
You would say that's a lie? That is a truth. Captain America was actually born on the 4th of July. Yep.
Parker, I even knew that one.
Yeah, and he's Canadian.
And we're off. Yeah, we're off to a rough start here. All right, his identity has been held by 12 other people, including Bucky Barnes, who is the Winter Soldier, and Sam Wilson, who's Falcon. Is that a truth about Captain America, or a lie that mantle's been held by 12 other people?
Lie.
You'd say a lie?
Lock it in.
Dang.
That is true.
Yikes.
Oh man. 12 other people have held the mantle of Captain America, including the Winter Soldier and Falcon, which I believe coming up, a little plug. They're not paying us, so I'm not going to say what channel it's on, but there's on a streaming service.
Wait, there's payment?
There's a show called like Winter Soldier and Falcon or something like that. Yeah. All right, here's the next one. He can run at a top speed of 40 miles per hour. Is that a truth or a lie about Captain America?
I can't see it. I can't see it, Parker.
That you'd say that's a truth?
Could there be 3 no's in a row?
That is a lie. So here's the question. Here's the question. So he can run fast, but do you think he can run faster or slower than 40 miles per hour top speed? Just anybody.
Slower.
Faster, because I think I saw that on that. Yeah,
he can run at 60 miles per hour. Yeah. He can run a mile a minute.
Phil, I'm pretty sure you can run 40 miles an hour, can't you?
Oh yeah. That's why I was surprised that Parker kind of didn't. Right. Yeah, he said no, but anyway. All right. In the comics, he wasn't actually a member of the original Avengers. So in the comics, Captain America, he was not part of the original Avengers. Is that a truth or a lie? What do you think, Parker?
I can't help you out on this one.
Wasn't he the first Avenger?
Yeah, he should be. So that would be make it a lie then, right? He was.
You think that he was a part of the original in the comics, right?
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Ticking me off. Phil.
In the comics, it was Iron Man, Ant-Man, Hulk, Thor, and the Wasp were the original Avengers. Captain America did not start.
Not even the power.
Hey, what's the score so far, Phil? What's he at now?
I don't know.
USA 0, Canadian.
I'm not keeping track. I'm not keeping track. All right, next one. This is an important one. He can't get drunk no matter how much alcohol he drinks. Is that a truth or a lie?
Lie. It's got to be Parker. Go with lie.
All right, lie.
It's true.
You're going to say that's a lie?
I told you.
That is truth. His metabolism is so high, Captain America cannot
That's why they
get drunk.
called me Captain America.
Is that an actual superpower that you can't get drunk?
It's not one anybody would want. That's all right. Okay. Here's another good one. He was once addicted to super meth. Is that a truth or a lie?
Lie.
You say that's a lie? That was the truth.
What? What are you talking about?
In the comics, when he wasn't paying attention to the effects of drugs in the U.S., he got hooked up on super meth and.
Parker, are you
power.
are you trying to set an all-time record on Stormfront Freak?
Hey, if I leave it out,
all right. Next one, we got a few more. There's 10 here. Greatest foe. So would you say this a truth or a lie that his greatest foe was Thanos? Is that a truth or a lie of Captain America? Who is known as his greatest foe? Is it Thanos?
It's a lightning round, Parker.
Yeah. Sure. Yes.
Slow-mo.
You'd say that's his greatest foe?
Sure.
You could tell by the way Phil says it. Oh, really? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, man, I'm losing it here. Okay, we still got hope. You got 3 left, Parker. By the way, it's a lie. It was Adolf Hitler is actually Captain America's greatest foe. Because he was really Mr. World War II.
Great, yeah.
All right, Chris Evans. So the actor that played him in the movies was paid $300,000 to play the title role in Captain America: First Avenger. Is that a truth or a lie? That he was paid $300,000.
I would say a lie. He probably would have paid a lot more than that.
All right.
I knew that was coming. I'm sorry, but
he was paid $300,000 in the
This
first
is like
movie.
a coin that has the same thing on both sides. You're going to hit that button no matter what.
There's a 50-50 shot. You got two left.
All right, man.
All right. Captain America was the oldest Avenger. Truth or lie?
Truth.
Probably, yeah.
Truth?
Yeah. Oh, God. Seriously. I know where you live, man.
Yeah, Thor is a few centuries older than Captain America is. All right, here's your last. We're hanging on one more, buddy.
This one's worth 10,000 points.
This is right. This will bring back favor. Captain America: First Avenger was the last Marvel movie distributed by Paramount Pictures. Truth or lie?
Pick the opposite of what we were going to say.
So was Captain America: First Avenger was the last Marvel movie that was distributed by Paramount Pictures and not Disney. Truth or lie?
Truth.
Oh, woo! 10,000. Yeah, baby. Beautiful, man. You know how to just work the crowd right to the very end. Wow, that was amazing.
Weather, man, I would have been all over that.
You get to keep your passport.
Yeah.
You do. So, all right. So, Parker, do this. How can people find you on social media?
So we have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, but I'm most active on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter by looking up our Twitter handle is at Pawnee Storm, and P and S are both capitalized. You could also just go on Google and type in Pawnee Storm Chasers.
Okay, that works. Very good. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, with the holidays here, I need to tell you guys about the Drive Weather app. I mentioned this last episode, but in the winter for me, whenever I would travel, because I would travel multiple states to go visit family over the holidays, I would always have to look up the forecast of every single National Weather Service field office along my route to whatever state I was driving to see, and then I would look at the forecast to see by the time I'm driving through that part of the country, what would the weather be like, just to kind of see where am I going to hit certain things and where won't I. Well, lo and behold, out comes the Drive Weather app. Now does all of that for me, and with the slide of a timeline, I can see what the weather is going to be like along my route when I get there, right? So it's not showing me if I leave now, what's the weather going to be like, and it's showing me 800 miles from now what the weather is now, right? It's showing me by the time I'm getting there what the weather is going to be like. This is awesome. The Drive Weather app, it's on iOS and Android. You can get a free version up to 2 days of weather and get city-to-city routing. Or for the $9.99 a year subscription, you get 7 days of weather. You get the wind direction and speed, so you can tell if you're going to be fighting the wind or not. And you get specific address-to-address routing. So this is an amazing app, especially this time of year. Find out more at driveweatherapp.com. We're going to go ahead and take our final break. And when we come back, we're going to have a little bit of Weather Fools and, of course, good old Weather Trollbot 5000. Stay tuned.
Hey, Phil, do you get to choose which 7 days on the app you get?
You get the forecast for the next 7 days. Which means better. you can plan out up to a 7-day trip starting from today.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks that far out.
Gotcha.
So, very good. All right. Who else we got? We got anybody else on? We got Rick. Rick is on.
That My Chill Summer guy is Matthew's brother.
Okay.
Really?
My Chill Summer. Yeah.
Name's David.
Cool.
Hey, David.
Welcome, David.
Parker Owen says the National Weather Service has something similar to Drive Weather app now.
Huh.
You got to send that to me because I didn't know they had anything like that. They got here's the challenge with, I love the National Weather Service and they got so many great ideas, but being a government entity, it takes so long.
It takes a while
for them to finally get stuff out.
Right.
And it's sometimes frustrating because they have such good ideas that are coming, but
right.
It's like, oh, when you expect to see that? Oh, it's probably another 2 years out. It's like, what?
Right.
That would be so good. We need it right now. But
They need bonuses. Give them a bonus.
all right. So let's do this. So we got Weather Fools. Greg, I'm going to let you introduce Weather Fools. You ready for that?
On. No.
So just I got to
know
do
that
is
feeling.
Explain. So when we come out of the break, I'll have an applause, and then I'm also going to play a little. We don't get fooled again. Okay, so I'll
Those sound effects are really loud, just so you know.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll bring it down a little bit. But anyway, so I'll come in with applause. I'll play that song. Let it go. It won't get fooled again. And then I'll kind of turn it down, and you can jump in. And so all I have to do is say, okay, well, now it's time for Weather Fools. Weather Fools are just explain what it is, which is
got it.
Finding stupid people doing stupid stuff in weather situations or something like that.
Do you want me to start with my clip as well?
You certainly can. I've got two.
You've got two.
I've got
anyone
two.
else?
Anybody else? Parker, did you have a Weather Fool you wanted to talk about?
Yeah.
Did you find the photo or no?
Yeah, I did find the photo, but I don't have to describe it since it's...
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
And that's fine. Yep.
Okay, and you got two, Phil?
I've got two. Yep.
Okay.
And then, so just go ahead and once you're done, introduce next person. And then when they're done, introduce next person. And then whoever you have go last, when they're done, just say, hey, well, that's great stuff. If you want to find those, just look on our episode 95 show notes. You can go to stormfrontfreaks.com or a lot of times you can find it right on your podcast app you're listening to us on.
Okay.
So just direct people to that. And then I'll come in with a little Weather Trollbot 5000. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 to hit. And then Freak Fan Box. And we'll close it out. We'll close it out. So any questions from anybody? Cool. Okay. And Greg, were you doing a share screen or not?
Yeah, I got a share screen. Yeah.
Are you sharing it right now?
He's there. Yep, he's got it.
Yeah, we already got it under control. Yep.
Got it. Cool. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll count in the applause and the song, and then I'll kind of turn it down. You can go. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Coming in 3, 2.
All right, now it's that time of the show where we are going to identify some weather fools. And this is the part of the show where we find idiots. We find people doing stupid things related to the weather, and we share those with you. So why don't I get this started, Phil? I know we've got 4 weather fools bits tonight, and I'm going to do the first one. And I've shared my screen. I think MJ, you've got that there.
Yeah.
So let me. Yeah. So listen, this is coming from.
Dumb and Dumber.
Well, this is coming from Russia. It's coming from Russia because Russia.
Yep.
And this is a classic tale of a young man, and here's what it looks like. The point here is. Don't trust your friends. Don't trust anybody.
Nice. That's the moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story. Don't trust anybody.
Trust anyone.
Parker,
that's good.
You got one?
Yes, sir. Yes. So I found a picture on Twitter that was captioned, "When there's a tornado coming, but you're not afraid of no nader." And it was a picture from one of the tornadoes down in Dixie Alley this last week, coming towards a guy in a parking lot who's just sitting there working on his truck while there's a tornado coming straight at him. He just kind of blows it off.
And I mean, these were some pretty serious tornadoes on Monday.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure they killed some people, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, those were nasty tornadoes, and he was just working on the truck.
Yep, he's just working on the truck.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Did he look at it and go, or did he not know?
Yeah, he was kind of just leaning back, glancing at it. Looked like he was replacing an oil filter or something.
Again,
well, you got to get that done.
It brings back memories of the lawnmower man from a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
All right, Phil, you've got a couple. You got a couple of weather fools clips.
Yeah,
as well.
so I got a couple now. One dates back a few months back to when Houston had their flooding. This was back in September. And this was a tweet from the Houston Fire Department, September 19th. And they said, Houston Fire Department crews performed 918 water rescues so far today and have dispatched 1,758 emergency calls. Oh, wow. So, there's a lot of people doing stupid ass stuff if they're having to do 918 water rescues. And this was as 5:48 p.m. in the day.
Turn around, don't drown.
Oh my gosh!
What are they in or under?
That looks like an overpass there. Yeah. But just ridiculous. And then the next one is this. So if you're a fan of clowns, this was a tweet.
And who isn't?
This was a tweet from Arizona Family 3 TV CBS 5. April Warnicki, who's a meteorologist there, says had a surprise guest during Good Morning Arizona, a scary donut clown. Now she is freaked out by clowns, and in comes this clown with donuts, and she literally walks off the camera. She was given the 5-day forecast. She walks off the camera, and she is freaked out. I mean, she
does not look happy. She looks pissed off.
And what's even worse is, so the video keeps going, and she finally goes up to the anchors at the anchor desk, and the clown kind of keeps following her. And the camera is kind of going along with it. And she just kind of turns away, turns her back. He kind of touches her back or shoulder a little bit. She freaks out like it's a bug. And she literally is just like, and if you listen to the audio, so we'll put this in the show notes, but it's just amazing how she's like, no, go away. Please don't touch me. Don't do it.
It feels like an awkward Me Too moment right here.
Oh, it is
no
extremely
kidding.
awkward. It is very,
that is really
very awkward. And they're like, but he's got donuts, and she's like, I don't care. I don't care. But he's totally got the it mask. It's that clown because there's like sharp teeth.
Phil, you're gonna get the audio of that, the whole clip put up onto the show notes.
I'll put that tweet in the show notes so everybody can go to it and then listen to it and watch.
So
I run into a lot of girls that are afraid of clowns.
That happens to you a lot, doesn't it, man?
They do, yeah. No.
Not anymore.
Hey, you afraid of clowns? It's not like that.
Convince
Not
him
like
with the
that.
sprinkles on the donuts. It'll be fine.
Well, listen, we'll get Parker's photo and we'll get Phil's 2 clips and my clip up onto the show notes, episode 95 show notes, and we'll have those up there for you to have a look at the Weather Fools. And Phil, what's up next?
All right, so we got coming up. We got we are pulling Weather Trollbot 5000 out of the good old garage. And so if you're not familiar with Weather Trollbot, so we bought Weather Trollbot in a garage sale probably a year or so ago, and we've kind of repurposed her to what we do is we find all the trolls that are out there that are bugging the crap out of our weather friends, and we look at the responses because our weather friends are always really professional usually in the responses that they have for the Weather Trollbot or for the trolls, right? And what Weather Trollbot does is we plug all that information in. Like, what did the troll say? What did our weather friend respond with? We plug it in, and Weather Trollbot computes that, and she kicks out what that weather person was actually thinking when they responded. Because usually they're not thinking all those nice, professional, kind things that they tend to say. So I've got 4 examples tonight I'm going to share with you, and we're going to start off with the first one is Mark Elliott from the Weather Channel. And Mark Elliott, this was on Twitter. It was regarding Tropical Storm Imelda. This was back in September when Houston got some flooding, everything else. But the guy's name was Geraldo. He was at Geraldo638977623. So it had
What was
to be
that
like
middle number?
A bot, yeah, whatever.
6.
Anyway, here's what he said. He said, "Hey, idiot, telling people this event was so well forecast only makes you all look stupid because not you or anyone else expected the rain in Texas today. You and," he referred to the National Hurricane Center, "completely screwed the residents of Texas once again." And Mark came back. And he didn't just like pound on this guy. He said, "Oh, how I wish people had better things to say with their time. But alas, there will always be haters, trolls, people that were never taught to be kind, not to mention how absolutely factually wrong this one is." But didn't say anything really bad. So what we're going to do is we got to plug this into Weather Trollbot. And then we got to basically have her compute, I guess, what Mark was really thinking.
Here's what Mark was really thinking. What an ass clown. You are so incredibly wrong it hurts my brain. You may not have been expecting rain, but the rest of us that claim to be intelligent humans were well aware, and shared it with anyone paying attention. Hey, I think I just discovered the missing link between apes and humans. Looking in your direction, Geraldo.
Geraldo.
Weather Trollbot doesn't have the accent down.
No, she's still working on her ethnicity. And
5001.
Yeah. So okay, so that was Mark. Let's see what we got. The next one we have. This is Chris Nelson. Mark, MJ, you might be familiar with this. Chris Nelson, up at KIMT TV in Rochester, is the chief meteorologist. On Twitter, this was regarding interrupting programming for tornado and thunderstorm warnings, right? We get this all the time. People are pissed. So the person was uncredited, but they said, "I think it's quite selfish and ridiculous that meteorologists and newscasters think part of their job is to be familiar faces, chit chat, and be air quote personalities. Not get to the
All right.
not get to the meat of the matter and do real news and programming. Please get your selfish face back on air and explain when you will re-air the show you felt you needed to interrupt several times because you couldn't get it right the first time. Your incompetence is quite annoying given the economy in which jobs are becoming more scarce. Most of us can look at our phones to replace you. Okay. And Chris's response was pretty simple. He said, please don't be this person. I'm just here to do my job. And then he had a smile emoji.
Wow. That is really kind. Yeah.
It really wasn't bad. So, but we got to type this in. So we got to find out what, because you know, Chris probably wasn't that short in what he was really thinking in his response. He probably gave himself a few hours to calm down a little bit, but Weather Trollbot's going to tell us what was really going on.
Here's what Chris was really thinking. People and their fucking TV shows. I implore everyone to be smarter than this jackass. Use your damn phone to find your show streaming somewhere so we can do our job. And warn people of potentially dangerous weather. Puke emoji.
A little poop emoji at the end.
There you go. Good grammar, too, yeah.
Poop emoji.
Poop. How did she say it? Like puke emoji.
Yeah, pupe emoji.
All right. Now this is one we've been waiting for. So this is good old Daniel Shaw, who's actually a former guest with us and was watching our streaming our recording here. I don't know if he's still on or not, but so down in Australia. So Daniel's a big storm chaser, a media guy down in Australia. He comes back to the States sometimes. I think just about every year at some point to do some chasing in the plains and such. But down in Australia, they've been going through a lot of ton of bushfires, and he's been taking a lot of photos of the bushfires. And this was on Facebook, and one of the things that came back was from an individual named Chris Adams. And Chris Adams said, that's low, taking photos of the fires for money and as people lose their homes. Also, having the stupidity to think taking photos is the priority. Maybe grow up and put down the camera and actually help. Do something useful with your position instead of wanting to be the center of attention. Hashtag severe cash grab. Hashtag where is the compassion? Jeez. Well, Daniel was I mean, with something like that, I would fire back. But Daniel was really polite. He said, hey, was standing next to the homeowners. Their property was fine. They all worked together to put in a containment line. No one was hurt, no property lost, just a close-up photo looking into the bush approximately 500 meters from their home. He went on to say, I have volunteered 16 hours of my time helping on this long, prolonged bushfire event. So that's pretty professional, right?
Yeah,
nice.
Nice.
Just put the facts out there.
He's
all
on.
right, so let's type this in.
He's still on.
Daniel, we're gonna find out, brother, what you were really thinking when you responded to what's the guy's name? Chris Adams. We're gonna throw him under the bus here, but
Here's what Daniel was really thinking. Good God, is this guy for real? You obviously do not understand how things work outside your fucking little world. Let me make it simple for you, hashtag hero. Good news is, no person or property was damaged or in danger near this photo. More good news. I have put in over 16 hours volunteering during this fire and also documenting what is happening to assist others. Bad news. The world has to deal with fuck faces like you.
Wow.
That was a good one.
wow.
Hey,
Daniel.
Phil, I gotta step in though.
Okay.
If you know Daniel, Weather Trollbot is really downplaying what Daniel was really thinking.
That could be a little true. You know, she takes the input we give her. That's all she takes. So if she spent a little bit more time with Daniel, it might be. But you have to remember this is the holiday version of Weather Trollbot 5000.
Hey, what we should do is give Weather Trollbot an Australian accent.
MJ,
I could do that too. That's not a bad idea.
MJ, are you seeing his note?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
What's he saying?
You want to see that up?
Sure. Didn't need to defend myself. Prior to entering a bushfire and emergency, I assisted 3 people involved in an accident. Never tweeted it, but shall mention it here. Yeah,
awesome.
we tell you what, you don't need to convince us, Daniel. I can tell you that much. That you're doing good work for people. But all right, so here's the last one. This is KSDK St. Louis meteorologist Tracy Hinson. This was on Twitter regarding body shaming. And she was responding to Mary. Mary said, "Do you ever watch yourself giving the weather report? Seems that you need a girdle for the stomach overhang, which shortens the front of your dresses. Today was not the first time I've noticed this. Maybe you should wear a top that covers the bulge in your stomach."
God, people.
I mean, someone would just say, it's just so stupid.
What is wrong with people?
What is wrong with people? That's the quote every time.
Coal in their stockings.
We're going to make a t-shirt that just says, "What is wrong with people?" All right. Tracy responded. She said, "Dear Mary, yes, I do watch my air checks. No, I will not be strapping myself into a girdle because you don't like my belly. I like pasta, bread, and cheese too much to obsess over my weight. I like my body, and that's all that really matters. Heart, Tracy. Hashtag not for fat shaming." So good job, Tracy. But I do want to find out maybe what Tracy was really thinking in that response, and I'm sure all of you do too, right? Sure. So we're typing that in. All right, let's see what comes out of Weather Trollbot.
Here's what Tracy was really thinking. It really is hilarious that you think I give a shit. I'm going to keep doing me. You keep doing you. Damn, this pasta, bread, and cheese is so damn good. What do you think, Mary? Ha ha. Fuck you. I am just kidding.
What do you think, Mary? Fuck you. I'm just kidding. That's a good response. Well done.
That's
all right.
funny.
So that was good old Weather Trollbot. We're definitely going to have to bring her back in at some point here soon. She's a favorite. So Merry Christmas, everybody. On that note, right.
Yeah, kidding.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
But it is definitely time to check our Freak Fan Box.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail, baby. Yeah.
All right, FJ, what do we got?
All right, we've got Greg Warren checking in on Twitter. Says, tweeted this out to Stormfront Freak and at Midland USA. Thank you for the Midland USA Weather Radio. I always look forward to posts and podcasts from at Stormfront Freak. So thanks, Greg, for checking in, and happy you won.
Yeah, congrats.
That's awesome.
That's a good one.
That's what we got in the mailbag for today, or the fan box. Please feel free to tweet to us, send us your things. Your comments.
Send us your things.
Don't do that. At questions at Stormfront.
I can't wait to see what comes in the mail next.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll put out your address. And then we are on Twitter, of course, at Stormfront Freak. So
now you're going to get a bunch of things.
Yeah, lots of things. All right. So I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for listening or watching. Before I go ahead and reveal our next guest, I do want to remind you guys, if you love listening, or if it helps you get through your car ride, whatever it is, we love the great reviews. We love hearing the great things. If there's something you like that we're doing, let us know. You can either, certainly, as MJ talked about, you can email us at questions@stormfrontfreaks.com, or jump on social media and let us know that way as well. And then subscribe to the show. It's always great. We're getting all kinds of new subscribers every single episode of people that are finding us. But subscribe to the show, because when we upload the latest show, and it's been a little bizarre here over the holidays, getting our every 2 weeks show out. It's a little bit different, but we've been pretty close. So what it does is, if you subscribe to the show or follow the show on your podcast app, it just guarantees you get the next show the minute we upload that, and you've got it in your podcast box. So special thanks to our guest tonight, Parker Koppes. Peter, thank you. Parker, sorry. Peter. Parker, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate having you on.
Thank you.
And also joining us with Weather Fools. That's always fun. And I'll say this, Parker's been great about sending us stuff too, and looking for Trollbot stuff and looking for Weather Fools. So you're a contributor to the show, not just tonight. You've been a contributor to the show multiple times. But our next episode, we are recording live on YouTube Thursday, January 9th. our normal time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. And we're going to have with us to start off the new year, the Hurricane Man himself, Josh Morgerman, is going to be with us, assuming he's not out chasing some tropical storm somewhere. But we're definitely looking to have him on to start off the new year. And like I said, we'll have some new things to let you know about regarding our 100th episode get together that we're going to have down in Oklahoma City. So we'll give you more details there too. So for MJ and Maz and Greg and Parker, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear. We'll catch you guys next time.
Cheers.
Happy holidays. Awesome. Parker, thank you so much, man. You were awesome.
Thanks,
Good job.
You were awesome. That was a good show.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great hearing and learning your story, Parker. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to chat with you guys again anytime. If you guys are ever bored, I'd love to just talk shop about storm chasing and things like that, especially Greg and Phil, because you guys storm chase pretty regular. I know, Greg, you do. Phil, do you?
Well, I was definitely going to say so when I was out in the plains over kind of Memorial weekend-ish in May this past year. Mm-hmm. And I was in Colorado twice chasing. So now that I know you're there, I'll definitely be texting you and find out where you're at.
Free room, right?
Yeah, I think I'm the only storm chaser that drives a blue Chevy Cobalt. Did you see one of those?
I bet.
You know, I'll be honest with you. There was a point that, and I was in Colorado, that it was going right by someone's kind of house, but it was a dirt road going by the house. But once you got past their house, it wasn't muddy yet, but it had been muddy. So there were grooves in the road. And I swear I don't know if it was a blue Cobalt. I don't recall. But there were two vehicles that just, the grooves were too deep that they would have been bottoming out on their car, that they stopped and they were there. And I was able to keep going and got some good shots because of that. But I'm trying to remember. I'm like, was that a blue Cobalt?
Yeah. To my knowledge, I'm the only chaser that has one. So
have I ever like flipped you off or like?
Yeah, there's one time you shot at me, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Bastard in the orange truck.
I haven't ran into you, Greg, which is really surprising because I think I went on like 19 chases this year.